Let's welcome Philip Flindt.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, nice to see you.
Nice to see you. I heard a lot about you, and now I can see on your jackets you have a lot of pins. So I can't wait. We are all looking forward to listen to your story.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I figured for this occasion I might find it.
Yes. So please, I can't really wait to start your presentation. So now it's your time.
Thank you. I will just share my screen here, share my presentation. I hope you see it. Cool. Okay, so I do see that the program hasn't changed to what I kind of was agreed on to present on. So what I will tell you is what I think is the real power of Rotary Youth Exchange, and my journey from this jacket, pretty much, to becoming a regional leader in Rotary. And I will start. Actually, I will just point out one keyword, which is what Rotary is a lot to me, which is family. But starting off, I just want to tell you a little bit about my professional background. Then I will tell you the short story, I guess, from being a Rotary Youth Exchange student to becoming a regional leader next year. And then I will be talking a bit about how we can adapt and evolve Rotary Youth Exchange in order also to promote. And that will be kind of a teacher to the next breakout session 4 that I will be in as well. As you can notice by the photo, I am a photographer, but I'll get back to that. Well, my name is Philip Flindt. I am 31 years old. I am from Denmark, and I am adopted from Sri Lanka, which already in that case makes me quite international, I guess. I have a bachelor degree in media production and management from the Danish School of Media and Journalism, and I've actually been, even though I'm only 31, I've been a business owner for more than 10 years. And that's because I have been actually a DJ, playing music and events for 16 years, and founded a business on that. I also do event production now. But in my daily life, I am a freelance photographer and videographer, and I've also worked at a PR agency based in Copenhagen. So that's just a little bit about me, my professional background, and we'll get a lot more into the whole Rotary story. So let's start off with that. I know that a lot of you have heard tons of stories from Rotary Exchange students, and I bet you've heard only good things, because it is a year that changes lives. Before I get started on this part, I really want to give out a big thanks to Rotary and Rotary Youth Exchange, and I have tremendous respect for what you do. It changes life. It changed my life for a number of different reasons. But among the people I want to thank, I of course want to thank Jakob Volter, which is the next governor of our district. He's been a great friend, and I've known him for so many years working in Rotary Youth Exchange. But it's not just him, it's everyone who works with the program or the programs. Everyone from officers all the way to host families, and anyone who just takes a Rotary Youth Exchange student to go on a trip on their year or pitches in any way. Thank you so much. It's very, very important, I think, for Rotary. So my year started back in 2006, where I said goodbye to Denmark and traveled across the world, all the way to Grand Junction, Colorado, in the United States. And at that time, I didn't know how much it was gonna change my life, how much it would affect my life, that I would meet a completely new world, and I would get a new global family. And I have chosen, I could tell a lot of stories about being a Rotary exchange student, but this is not the time for that. But I've taken out 2 key points that I think is very important from the Rotary Youth Exchange Program. This, by the way, old photo is is from my group of exchange students in the district that I was in. So one of the things that I've taken out from the program that I really, really like and think that we can use in these times with COVID-19, also in a way to promote the program, is the cultural exchange, which is one of the fundamentals of the exchange program. And just for a little pointers, you see me in the photos here. The one top on the right with the lady is with the district chair at that time, Marilyn Branch, one of the many persons that I really owe a big thank you to. But the cultural exchange, it has been very, very interesting to me that looking at the picture at the bottom, you see a group of people from all over the world gathered in one place at the same time, learning about different cultures, not just in the country they're in, but they're sharing their own cultures with other people from different cultures. And to me, that looking back now and a bit older than just coming out of exchange, looking back, I think it gives young people the opportunity to see the world in a different way. And what I think is just as important, it gives young people the chance to look at their own country more objectively and maybe be a little critical about their own country. And hopefully, I think that will be a way to come closer together, cultures, in between cultures. So yeah, I learned a lot about the U.S. culture naturally because I was in the U.S. But I also got to share a bit about my culture. So what you see in the big picture on the slide is me as 17 years old, I think, presenting to a group of scouts about Denmark on my little laptop. Of course, proudly wearing my blazer. So the other part of or other pillar I would like to point out is the family part. And once again, I'm not just talking about, you see a lot of photos here with my family in the US, but it's not just that family. It is it's also the exchange students that you saw below, where I was talking about the culture exchange. It's also a way to get a new family that's worldwide. And that's a lot of what I think Rotary Youth Exchange do. And it's not just the Youth Exchange, it's Rotary in general. It's one big family. So that's some of the key takes from that I have brought from the Youth Exchange program to Rotary, and has affected my life. What you see in the photos here is I think it's a lot of fun. The 3 big photos on the left you see is it's me and my host brothers from my exchange year, and it's taken over I think 10 years, because they are growing up, as you see. So that means I've been back visiting my family, and being part of a family is also knowing that your family is not just the way your family live is not just the only way to live in a family. It can be various places or various different ways. So living with different families also opens your eyes for that. And I think it's important to learn that your way of living is not just the only way of living. Other people live in other ways. And yeah, I tend to go back every 2 to 3 years to visit my family. Of course, COVID has been tough on that, but I hope to see them next year. They also visited me. And one thing I like to point out when I say that it's family is then when I, for example, when I go back to visit my family, host family, I'm not just visiting. I'm part of the family. When I'm helping cooking, I'm helping running errands. When the kids were small, I took them to practice and stuff like that, even though I was just back visiting for 2 or 3 weeks. So I wasn't really just visiting. I was still part of the family. And just some of this for the whole exchange year, this has actually shaped my life in all kinds of matters that I can't even imagine what my life would have been if I hadn't been an exchange student. And I think Rotary is very unique in that way. We do exchange compared to other programs as well. And I also spiked an interest in learning about the world, learning about various cultures. Actually, as late as last night, I was working and I met 2 DJs from Italy, and because of my whole experience with the Rotary Youth Exchange program, I already could instantly connect with these two DJs because they were from Italy, and of course I have friends in Italy because I've been on youth exchange. So I could instantly connect with them, and my interest in their culture also showed that I could ask into more specific things about their area, which they of course appreciate. But I think it's a very important thing to know that the youth exchange it inspires people to learn about cultures, definitely in my case, and then of course global friendships. I will just click here. So after being an exchange student, I know this might be no-go words here, but Rotex, Rotaract, Interact, Rotakits, everything is a big family to me, and I think we should all be working together to help promote one or the other. So for me, my journey from being an exchange student naturally led to helping the youth exchange program by actually, before I go to that, this photo is of the 2 blonde, beautiful guys on the left. Is 2 exchange student that was on exchange a couple of years after me, and the one standing next to me was our inbound exchange student at that time. And this was in our Rotary Club, the one that sponsored me. Yeah, I will just click here. See, there we go. So, Rotex and actually Rotary Youth Exchange Program in Denmark. So, what actually spiked my interest into the whole organization after being on exchange was, of course, the Youth Exchange Program. So, I did a lot of I helped a lot with the briefings of new exchange students, all the ones that were going out to have their experience, their best year of their life. So I helped on a district level with that, also on a national level. We were kind of mentors for the coming exchange students. We were kind of telling them what to expect, and they were able to ask us questions that they might not ask a Rotarian who is, I don't know, 20, 30, 40 years older than them. And I think that was a very good time. So I did that for about 3 to 4 years, maybe 5 years actually. And of course I also pitched in with Rotex, like having events for the outbounds and rebounds and also inbounds, etc. But after some time with that, giving back to the program by helping with briefings and all that, I I wanted more. So naturally, for me, which I hope would be the case later on, and we can work towards. Naturally, for me, I became member of Rotaract, which I still am today. So I was helping founding a Rotaract club, Rotaract Copenhagen North, which I am still a part of. I was president. I've been president a couple of times. Then it led to me. Actually, this is just a photo from one of our early meetings in our club, somewhat 8 years ago or something like that. Yeah, I've since then been district Rotaract representative in the district, which connected me a lot more to Rotary and the work within Rotary. I've also been working in our national group in Rotaract Denmark. I am currently a secretary of that. So I am very much into Rotaract, but I think that what is important to keep in mind is that we are a family and we all need to work together. So we all try to have both Rotaracts, have the youth exchange program, have anything Rotary related, kind of intertwined. So moving on from that, I've spent a lot of time doing work in Rotary, and this is a place where I was, of course, a bit older, so I also I've done my education. I got my bachelor's degree, and I've been working within my field, and I felt like it was nice to be able to go back and give back to Rotary in general, within my expertise. So I've been on several committees in the district. I've been on the PIPR committee, which leads to, of course, my road to becoming a regional leader. So I've also been on the district training committee in the district, and I've worked a lot with of course, different PR strategies in the district and initiatives. And what I think I've learned a lot from this is that there might be a big age difference, but we can really learn from each other. And on the photo you see me where from the day where the district, this was actually at a Rotary youth exchange event that is hosted every year around Thanksgiving. And they surprised me. You see me not even wearing a blazer. The district surprised me to become a Paul Harris Fellow because of the work I've done in the PR department of the district. We've been doing a lot of stuff, from everything from, this is particularly from making a magazine, but we've been doing a lot, and it's really interesting to work, as I said, with people who are 60, 70, and people who are 35, people who are 55, all various kinds of ages and all various kinds of places in their life. That is one thing that I think also is part of making a family, that you have different ages, and we need to help each other, and we need to be we need to work together and look at the forces of having different opinions as well. And this all leads to where I believe we should go, and also in order to promote the programs. So what I've also learned a lot from being part of Rotary is that not only can you do the exchange, which definitely changed my year, and all this, any of this that I mentioned, everything comes down to the opportunity that Rotary gave me to go on a Rotary Youth Exchange program. So what I've also done after this, I've done a Rotary Leadership Institute. I am soon going to be on a Rotary Leadership Institute graduate program, and I've done RYLA, Rotary Youth Leadership Awards, as well. As you see here, I've been to several district conferences. I put that on as well, and last district conference we had in the district, I produced the stream for that as well. But some of the things with the cultural exchange that I really find very amusing is going to international events, and I've done a lot of that in Rotaract. But I also went to the International Convention in Hamburg. And unfortunately, I haven't been to EEMA, but I hope that I could go someday, also in real life. So that's some of the things that I've done in Rotary, and that leads me further on to my next adventure, and that was kind of the short way of my journey to becoming Rotary Public Image Coordinator in Region 19 or Zone 18, starting in 2022 to 25. And the reason why I, in this presentation, have focused on my story, mostly my journey, and soon we'll go over to what we will be doing with the exchange program, what can be done, is that I have not yet been trained, and I am currently not an RPEC. So I have an onboarding meeting pretty soon, and within this year I will be trained to become this Rotary Public Image coordinator. And I'm really looking forward to further giving back to the organization that has shaped my life in so many ways. I'm really looking forward also to be able to use my professional competences and experience, and maybe stir some feathers in the organization as well, because it's always time to try to evolve. Like if you don't try to involve and innovate, you fall behind. That's just what I believe. And of course, because of this, I need to thank Jakob again, Jakob Walter, because I got a call from him at 8 in the morning, and he asked me would this position be of interest to me, and I said, well, I have no clue what it is, but let me look into it. And he said, yeah, that's fine. Just give me a heads up before 7 tonight. So I got very busy and looked into the bylaws and everything in Rotary International, and I figured that would be a very interesting position to fill, and also of course also a way to try to evolve myself and learn stuff. So big thanks to Jakob, and also to the whole district. I know it's not just Jakob. It's a governor, a group of governors that has nominated me, and I really thank them for that. That was a bold move, nominating a Rotaractor for basically a Rotary position in the organization. But not just that. Also, I want to thank Lena Miaskau, who's the director-elect. And I'm really looking forward to working with her and the other regional leaders. And lastly, of course, thanks to Jennifer Jones for electing me for this position. I'm really looking forward to trying to actually fill the shoes and take care of this position and further do good for Rotary. So thanks very much for that. And then I think we should talk a little about Rotary Youth Exchange. Yeah. And I think this may also apply. It doesn't necessarily apply to the long term only. It applies to short terms as well. This will be kind of a sneak peek into what we will be talking about in the breakout for. And it kind of like the program and the opportunities that we have due to COVID has kind of a big effect on what we can do now, because we've all seen how companies have evolved and quickly changed their ways of doing stuff. We're all on Zoom now. Well, at least we all know how Zoom works. We all know how various different applications like that work. I believe that we need to talk about having 2 years of no physical exchanges. Of course, like it hurts my heart because I am a Rotary Youth Exchange student. Once a Rotary Youth Exchange student, always a Rotary Youth Exchange student. It hurts my heart that we haven't done that for so long now. But I think we should look into the possibilities to do more than just that, because one thing doesn't rule out the other thing. Things can coexist. So we could look into virtual exchanges, and in the breakout session that we have, I will go into more of what I have learned from a young group of people that came together during COVID-19 across the world, and we connected anywhere from Fiji and New Zealand to most countries in Europe to Northern America, South America, North America, South America, we even had African countries as well joining in for this. But I will tell you a lot more about that if you join that breakout session, and I will. Let me just check my notes here for a second. Yeah, I just want to point out that I think the really important thing about this COVID-19 that has really changed the whole world, and as I talked about, the companies that has been thinking outside the box and drastically changed their ways of organization and workflow. I think we have to not necessarily change, but add to that pile of different things that we can do, because in short, we need to anything in the world has to adapt and evolve in order to thrive in an ever-changing world. So if we're not leading as Rotary, we should be leaders. As Rotary Youth Exchange, we should be leaders in exchange. So if we're not leaders, we just followers, which is not always bad, but I'd rather be leading. We can't be afraid of changes. And one thing that one short story here by the end that I learned from all the culture exchanges as well, when I was in Hamburg for the Rotary International Convention. I learned that from this one Rotarian who was speaking at a breakout session. I learned this story, and he was talking about, it was basically about how to adapt, and that you will adapt no matter what, because he was talking to another Rotarian who wasn't quite as willing to adapt, and this was in a club matter. So he asked him, so do you make calls? And of course he made calls now and then. So he asked him again, do you have a cell phone? And he says, yeah, of course I have a cell phone. I even have a smartphone that I can go on the internet as well. And then he said something quite interesting in my opinion. He said, so why don't you just use the one on the wall instead? Why don't you just use the payphone on the wall? That was what he implied. And that kind of struck me, because that really shows. Because the other returner is like, well, why would I use that? You don't see a payphone on the wall anymore. So that really struck me, and I was like, yeah, that is proof that change will overcome you at some point in history. That has always shown. And just before I round this session up, and I hope some of you will join me in the breakout 4, where we will go much more into detail on what we can do, also in order to promote the program. I will just share with you this photo from this group of people. This one was, well, probably late at night, I guess, because we were often sitting. This is during COVID. We were often sitting up till like very early in the morning, just talking, bonding. These are some of my best friends that I've gotten out of this network recently, and we've talked hours and hours and hours, and we've done events, and we've done a lot of different things together. And very few of us have actually met in real life. And here you see photos of people from anywhere from Denmark, Sweden. We have Germany, Austria, Turkey, Italy, Netherlands, the U.S. We have from Taiwan. We have from Uganda. Anywhere in the world. This is just some of the people. And I just wanted to share that photo, and some of these have been exchange students, some of them has not, some of them has just been, part of Rotary. It's really unique that you can get all of this out of this one organization, and I believe that that Rotary Youth Exchange is where a lot of that starts. So is one of the reasons why it is so important and so close to my heart. And I believe that is about my time.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, say yes.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Philip. I'm happy to see Taiwanese passport on the last slide. There are 2 points you mentioned in your presentation really touched me. The first one is change the life. I also did a short-term exchange in Netherlands. I keep saying it's a turning point in my life, and I can't agree with you more. And the second part is about the family. This is the 5th time I visit Netherlands to my host family. Every time I come back, I feel like I'm home. So I feel really touched when you share this experience. And here, Lucien has some question for you. So, Lucien, please.
Yeah. Yes. One remark. You told me you still have. You're not in your function you're right now. So you have you should have a story in 1 year.
Definitely.
So I would invite you to the EEMA conference next year, and Jacob is governor. He will find a way for you to pay for it.
I will be happy to attend.
Yeah,
actually, I'm kind of embarrassed. I've never been to EEMA because it's.
You should be embarrassed.
Well, as I mentioned, youth exchange is just big part of my life, and you can see that I have this jacket handy.
Still fits.